County Kilkenny is a county in Ireland. It is in the province of Leinster and is part of the South-East Region. It is named after the city of Kilkenny. The county was based on the historic Gaelic kingdom of Ossory, which is also the basis of the Diocese of Ossory. Kilkenny County Council is the local authority for the county. According to the 2011 census, the population of the county is 95,419. Geography and political subdivisions. Kilkenny is the 16th largest of the traditional 32 counties of Ireland in area and the 21st largest in terms of population. It is the third largest county in the province Leinster and 7th largest in terms of population. Baronies. The county is subdivided into called 9 baronies, which are in turn divided into civil parishes and townlands. There are about 800 townlands in Kilkenny. Each barony was made up of a number of parishes or parts of parishes. Both civil parishes and baronies are now largely obsolete and are no longer used for local government purposes. Baronies in County Kilkenny: Callan, Cranna, Fassadinan, Barony of Galmoy, Gorn, Ida, Iverk, Kells, Kilcullocheen, Kilkenny City, Knockduffer, Shillelagh. For religious administration, the county was divided into parishes. Every parish had at least one church. The barony boundaries and the parish boundaries were not connected. For the 17th to mid-19th centuries, civil parishes were based on early Christian and medieval monastic and church settlements. The civil parishes are divided into townlands. As the population grew, new parishes were created and the civil parish covered the same area as the established Church of Ireland. The Roman Catholic Church adapted to a new structure based on towns and villages. There are 2,508 civil parishes in Ireland, which frequently break both barony and county boundaries. Towns and villages. The county contains the city of Kilkenny, located at the centre of the county, and the towns of Ballyragget and Castlecummer to the north of the county, and Graiguinamana, Moonswan, Callan and Thomastown to the south. Ballyfoyle, Ballyhale, Ballyragget, Bennett's Bridge, Callan, Carrageen, Castlecummer, Castlewarren, Clow-Coon, Danesfort, Dungarvan, Dunnamagan, Flagmount, Freshford, Galmoy, Gores Bridge, Gorn, Graiguinamana, Glenmore, Hugginstown, Inistioge, Jenkinstown, Johnstown, Johnswell, Kilkenny, Killinispick, Kilmaco, Kilmogany, Knockduffer, Munninrow, Moonswan, Mullinavat, Paulstown, Piltown, Redhouse, Tullaga, Rosbacon, Sleaford, Stonyford, Thomastown, Tullarowan, The Roa, Erlingford, Windgap. Physical geography. The River Nore flows through the county and the River Suir forms the border with County Waterford. Brandon Hill is the highest point with an elevation of 515 meters. Most of the county has a hilly surface of moderate elevation with uplands in the northeast, the northwest and the south of the county. The middle is lower by comparison. The county is located at 52.583 degrees north, 7.250 degrees west, 52.583 minus 7.250, and has an area of 512,222 acres, which contains a population of 87,558. The county extends from 52 degrees 14 minutes to 52 degrees 52 minutes north latitude, and from 6 degrees 56 minutes to 7 degrees 37 minutes west longitude. The north-south length of the county is 45 miles, and its greatest breadth from east to west is about 23 miles, and its narrowest part is about 12 miles from where it widens irregularly towards the north. Kilkenny extends southward from Leinster to the valley of the Suir and eastward from the Munster-Leinster border to the River Barrow. The River Nore bisects the county, and the River Barrow and River Suir are natural boundaries to the east and south of the county. County Kilkenny is bordered by Leinster, Carlow, Wexford, Waterford and Tipperary. Geology. The geology of Kilkenny includes the Kiltalkin Formation, which is early Carboniferous in age. The formation is located around Kiltalkin Hill near Ballyhale in the Callan and Noctifer areas. It forms the uppermost part of the Old Red Sandstone and is the distinctive Upper Devonian Lower Carboniferous unit in southern Ireland. It contains non-red lithologies, green mudstones, siltstones, fine sandstones and yellow sandstones. There is a fossil assemblage containing Cyclostigma and Archaeopteris hibernica. Most of the county is principally limestone of the upper and lower group, corresponding with the rest of Ireland. A large area in the north and east contains beds of coal, surrounded by limestone strata alternated with shale, argillaceous sandstone, and sandstone. This occurs eastward of the Nore around Castlecummer, along the border with Leinster. It is generally accompanied by culm, which was used extensively for burning lime. The environment of County Kilkenny contains a great variety of natural heritage, including rivers, wildlife, woodlands, hedgerows, and diverse landscapes and geological features. The main land use is grassland, dairy farming and tillage farming, especially around Kilkenny city and in the fertile central plain of the Nore Valley. Conifer forests found on the upland areas. Habitats of international and national importance are designated under European Union and national legislation. The four categories of designated site in effect in County Kilkenny are special areas of conservation, natural heritage areas, statutory nature reserves and wildfowl sanctuaries. At present there are 36 designated natural heritage sites of international and national importance in County Kilkenny, covering approximately 4.5% of the county. Mountains and hills. County Kilkenny is comparably low compared to other mountain ranges in Ireland, with the highest peak being Brandon Hill, at 515 meters above sea level. The majority of rest of the county is hilly except for the centre of the county, just south of the city of Kilkenny, which is comparably lower than the rest of the county. There are highlands in the northeast, the northwest and in the south of the county. In the north of the county, the uplands of the Castlecummer district. The Castlecummer Plateau includes the Culla Hills to the west of the Nore Valley, with Castlecummer Hills and Slieve Marcy to the east. These hills are divided by the valley of the Dinan River, which joins the Nore from the east. The highest point of the Castlecummer Hills is 313 meters, and located northwest of the town of Castlecummer and near the border with Leinster. The highest point of the Culla Hills is in Leinster at 279 meters, but its undulating slopes spread over a considerable area of Kilkenny in the northwesterly area. In the west of the county, the Slieve Hills and Booley Hills extend westwards to County Tipperary. The highest point in the Slieve Hills is Knocknamuck at 340 meters. The Booley Mountains partly divide from Tory Hill to the valley of the Kilmaco River, which flows into the Suir. In the south of the county is Brandon Hill at 515 meters and is near the Barrow and Graiguanimana. The area enclosed between the rivers Nore and Barrow towards the point of joining is elevated. Along the west of the Barrow and Nore is mostly covered by hills of nearly equal elevation except along the left bank of the River Suir. Here there is a rich area of land between the river and the hills. Rivers. The main rivers in County Kilkenny: called the Three Sisters, are the Nore, Barrow and Suir. The River Nore bisects the county and flows through Ballyragget, Kilkenny City and the villages of Bennett's Bridge, Thomastown and Inistioge. The River Suir forms the border between County Waterford and County Kilkenny. River Barrow forms a boundary to the east of the county. Although County Kilkenny lies inland, it has access to the sea via Bellevue Port is Port of Waterford, on the Suir estuary and via New Ross on the River Barrow. On the River Barrow, from the villages of Goresbridge and Graiguenamanagh, there is a navigable river with traditional barges to the River Shannon at a Dublin Bay. Kilkenny's river network helps drain the land, giving the county a highly fertile lower central plain. Kings River and the Dinnan are used of canoeing and kayaking as they contain stretches of peaceful waterways and a number of weirs and rapids. The wide and meandering rivers Nore and Barrow are used for angling, boating and water sports. Protected areas. Special areas of conservation under the European Union Habitats Directive in County Kilkenny includes Hugginstown Fen southwest of Ballyhale, the Lochins near Urlingford, Culloh Hill Mountain on the Castlecummer Plateau near Johnstown, Spaffle and Clomantagh Hill which form part of an escarpment which links the Sleevada Hills with the Castlecummer Plateau, Galmoy Fen north of Johnstown, Lower River Suir south of Thurles, the freshwater stretches of the Barrow, River Nore and Thomastown Quarry, near Thomastown. In 2005 Cone Bogs was defined as a natural heritage area under Section 18 of the Wildlife Act 2000. The Blanket Bog consists of two small areas of upland Blanket Bog located near Castlecummer in the townlands of Cone East and Smithstown. Bedrock geology for both areas is shale overlain locally by glacial till, and Blanket Bog vegetation is well developed. Fidown Island is a 62.6 hectares state-owned nature reserve established in 1988. Near Fidown along the River Suir, it consists of a long narrow island of marsh, woodland covered in willow scrub and bordered by reed swamps. It is the only known site of its type in Ireland. Wildlife. The wildlife of County Kilkenny is part of the county's biodiversity and is an environmental, economic, amenity and resource. Fauna of County Kilkenny includes hedgehogs, otters, badgers, foxes, and bats such as Lysla's bats, Benton's bat, the brown long-eared bat and the common pipistrelle. There is also sika deer, fallow deer, stoat, red squirrel and pygmy shrew. The bird nesting period is from the 1st of March until the 1st of September. Woodlands, trees and hedgerows form a network of habitats, ecological corridors essential for wildlife to flourish and move between habitats. Flora of County Kilkenny includes the endangered autumn crocus, also rare species such as the bog orchid, the Killarney fern and the tufted salt marsh grass. There are also vulnerable species like lesser snapdragon, meadow barley, small white orchid, opposite-leaved pondweed, betony, red hemp nettle, narrow-leaved helleborine, lanceolate spleenwort, annual narelle and basil thyme. Woodlands. Surveys of woodlands of County Kilkenny include a Woodland Survey of Kilkenny, undertaken in 1997 to identify woodlands in the county, and a survey of broadleaved woodlands in 3 special areas of conservation, Barrow Nore, River Unshan and Loch Forbes, which covers some of County Kilkenny. A National Survey of Native Woodlands 2003 to 2008, which was one of the largest ecological surveys to be completed in Ireland and did its fieldwork in the county in 2003. Estimates of the woodlands in County Kilkenny include the Forest Inventory Planning System, which estimated Kilkenny had 2,251 hectares of mixed woodland and broadleaf woodland not dominated by beech, representing 1.09% of the county, and the National Forest Inventory 2004 and 2006, which estimated that 4,430 hectares of the county as native forested land. Scots pine was regarded as non-native, representing 2.15% of the county. The best quality sites in the county in terms of the conservation value include Carlcora Wood along the River North, Grennan Wood, Knockadrina, Garryrick and North Ballytoban, Brownstown Wood, Kilkenny-The Wood, Browns Wood, Thomastown, Ballykeefe Wood, Cullentra, Rosenara, Newrath and Garryrick and South. The most threatened forested area in the county is Greatwood. The main governmental organisations responsible for ensuring the development of forestry within Kilkenny are the National Parks and Wildlife Service and the Forest Service. There are legislative measures which recognise the importance of trees, woodlands and hedgerows and provide for the protection, including the Forestry Act and Wildlife Act. These stop trees being cut down unless a notice of intention is given and prohibit the cutting of hedges within the bird nesting period. The main threats come mainly from invasive species, heavy grazing and damaging activities such as non-native planting, native felling and dumping. There are instances of felling of ash trees for the production of hairleys. There are around 180 significant trees in County Kilkenny included in the Tree Register of Ireland, compiled by the Tree Council of Ireland, based on characteristics such as age, height, diameter, historical or folklore connections. The tallest tree in Kilkenny is a silver fir of 5.39 by 43 meters located at Woodstock Gardens in Inis-Tirge, and the tree with the largest girth is a common lime of 9.01 by 27 meters located at Coolmore House in Thomastown. At present there, under the Planning and Development Act, there are 4 tree preservation orders in County Kilkenny for the protection of trees, groups of trees and woods of amenity value. These include Old Court in Inis-Tirge, Keatingstown, Barna in Freshford, Sawney's Wood in Castlecomer and the Castle Gardens in Kilkenny City. Important trees in County Kilkenny include 2 cedars of Lebanon at Kildalton Agricultural College in Pilltown, a Monterey cypress beech, silver fir and 2 coastal redwood at Woodstock Gardens in Inis-Tirge. In Thomastown there is a common lime at Coolmore House, an English common oak at Stoning Kilfor, an English common oak at Mount Juliet Estate and a Wellingtonia giant sequoia, Monterey cypress, sweet Spanish chestnut and a homo evergreen oak at Kilfanglebe. There is also a Turkey oak at Three Castles House in Kilkenny, an ash and 2 English common oak at Ballytoban House in Callan, a common lime, Wellingtonia giant sequoia and 2 Monterey cypress at Shankle Castle in Paulstown, an English common oak at Ballykeefe House in Kilmanagh, an English common oak at Fanningstown House in Owning and a beech at Castlecomer Golf Club in Castlecomer. Gardens include Kilfan Glen in Thomastown, Woodstock Garden in Inis-Tirge, the Discover Park in Castlecomer, Darverhouse Garden in Jenkinstown, Coolcushion Garden near Johnstown, Emmaclue Garden in Goresbridge, Shankle Gardens and Amp Castle in Paulstown, Roth Family Garden in Kilkenny, Dahlia Garden in the Rower and the Rose Garden at Kilkenny Castle. Hedgerows also have historical significance as townland and field boundaries. Trails. The Nore Valley Way is a long-distance trail under development. When completed, it will begin in Kilkenny City and end in Inistioge. It is designated as a National Waymarked Trail by the National Trails Office of the Irish Sports Council and is managed by Trail Kilkenny, a group made up of representatives of Kilkenny County Council, County Kilkenny Leader Partnership, Kilkenny Sports Partnership and local landowners. The scenic South Leinster Way, a very scenic trail, journeys along the lower Barrow Valley before leaving the riverside at Graiguinmanor to traverse the lower slopes of Brandon Hill. History. County Kilkenny takes its name from the city of Kilkenny. Kilkenny is the anglicised version of the Irish Silchain, meaning Church of Carney Canis. This probably relates to the church in Round Tower, now St. Canis's Cathedral, which was built in honour of St. Canis. The Kingdom of Ossory was one of the ancient kingdoms of Ireland. The kings of Ossory, the MacGeollifadreg family, reigned over Ossory, and Silchain was the stronghold. The Kingdom of Ossory existed from at least the 2nd century until the 13th century AD. The current ecclesiastical diocese of that area is still known as Ossory. The medieval Diocese of Ossory was established in 549 AD, and its territory corresponded to the medieval Kingdom of Ossory. In historic times, Kilkenny replaced Gabo as the chief church in Ossory. The kingdom was bounded by two of the three sisters, the rivers Barrow and Suir, and the northern limit was, generally, the Slieve Bloom Mountains. The Ossory, the name means people of the deer, inhabited much of modern County Kilkenny and parts of neighbouring County Laois. To the west and south, Ossory was bounded by the river Suir. To the east, the watershed of the river Barrow marked the boundary with Leinster, and to the north it extended into and beyond the Slieve Bloom Mountains. The river Nor ran through the kingdom. Ossory formed the easternmost part of the kingdom and province of Munster until the middle of the 9th century, after which it was attached to Leinster. Ossory was largely a buffer state between Leinster and Munster. Its most significant neighbours were the Loisie, Uish and Selegan Uibech of Leinster to the north and east, and the Diacutisi Muman, Eogranach Shazel and Isle of Munster to the south and west. The name Ossory is said to be from the Usdaie, a Celtic tribe that Ptolemy's map of Ireland places in roughly the same area that Ossory would later occupy. The territory indicated by Ptolemy probably included the major Late Iron Age hill fort at Freestone Hill, which produced some Roman finds. Also the interesting burial at Stonyford, which is of typical Roman type and probably dates to the 1st century AD. The Ossory themselves claim to be descended from the Aryan people. Others propose that the Ivanic groups included the Ossory of the Kingdom of Ossory. The Brigantes were the only Celtic tribe to have a presence in both England and Ireland, in the latter of which they could be found around Kilkenny, Wexford and Waterford. Pope Adrian IV gave Norman King Henry II of England permission to claim Ireland 1154. The Cistercians came to Jerpoint and Kilkenny around 1155-60. Jerpoint Abbey is founded by Donald MacGeollifadreg, King of Ossory 1158. In 1168, Dermot MacMurrough, the King of Leinster, was driven out of his kingdom by Rory O'Connor, the High King of Ireland, with the help of Tiernan O'Rourke. MacMurrough looked for help from Henry II and got help from a Cambro-Norman lord, notable Richard de Clare, 2nd Earl of Pembroke, known to history as Strongbow. MacMurrough secured the services of Richard, promising him the hand of his daughter Aoife of Leinster and the succession to Leinster. Richard and other Marcher barons and knights by King Henry assembled an army. The army, under Raymond le Gros, took Wexford, Waterford and Dublin in 1169 and 1170, and Strongbow joined them in August 1170. The day after the capture of Waterford, he married MacMorrough's daughter, Aoife. The Lordship of Ireland was a lordship created in the wake of the Norman invasion of Ireland in 1169–71. Kilkenny formed part of the Lordship of Leinster. Strongbow became Lord of Leinster in 1171. Following the Norman invasion, the island of Ireland was divided into 32 counties. The Republic of Ireland today is made up of 26 of the traditional 32 counties, with the other 6 forming Northern Ireland. 2 former counties in the Republic have been subdivided, giving a modern total of 29 counties for administrative purposes rather than 26. Demographics. As of the 2006 census by the Central Statistics Office, County Kilkenny's population was 87,558. There were 35,669 Irish speakers as of 2006. There were 39,809 people currently working in County Kilkenny, and 4,133 people on the live register as of August 2008. There were 1,251 births and 546 deaths in 2007. Disposable household income per person as of 2005 was €18,032 and the index of disposable household was 89.4. The main religion is Catholic, however there are Church of Ireland, Presbyterian, Methodist, Jewish and other religious traditions living in Kilkenny. Climate. The climate of County Kilkenny, like the climate of Ireland, is a changeable oceanic climate with few extremes. It is defined as a temperate oceanic climate, or CFB, on the Köppen climate classification system. Kilkenny lies in plant hardiness zone 9. Weather-wise, the county is generally representative of wide river valleys in the region with low temperatures on cloudless nights, and is significant in that it records some of the highest summer and lowest winter temperatures in Ireland. The highest air temperature ever recorded in Ireland was 33.3 degrees Celsius at Kilkenny Castle on the 26th of June 1887. The Met Éireann Kilkenny Weather Observing Station, 2 kilometers northwest of Kilkenny city centre on the Dunningstown Road, opened in May 1957, and observations ceased in April 2008. A climatological station is currently in operation within 1 kilometre of the old site, and as of March 2010, was providing live weather data to the general public and climate data to Met Éireann. The maximum temperature recorded at the Met station was 30.8 degrees Celsius on the 2nd of August 1995. Extremes recorded at the station include the highest air temperature of 31.5 degrees Celsius on the 29th of June 1976, the lowest air temperature of -14.1 degrees Celsius on the 2nd of January 1979, and the lowest ground temperature of -18.1 degrees Celsius on the 12th of January 1982. The maximum daily sunshine was 16.3 hours on the 18th of June 1978. The warmest and sunniest month on record in Kilkenny was August 1995, with a total of 274.9 hours sunshine, and very high temperatures throughout. The maximum daily sunshine was 16.3 hours on the 18th of June 1978. The overall trend in temperatures has been on the rise, with a marked increase from 1988 onwards. Annual temperatures are running over 0.5 degrees above 20th century levels. The maximum daily rainfall recorded at Kilkenny Station was 66.4 mm on the 17th of July 1983. The late 1950s and early 1960s were wet, but rainfall had been steady throughout the century. 2002 was a very wet year, and since 2005 annual rainfall has been increased steadily, with 2009 being the wettest year since records commenced in 1958. At the centre of the county, Kilkenny is in a sheltered location, over 60 kilometres inland, and is surrounded by hills over 200 metres, which ensures that it is not a windy location. The highest wind gust of 77 knots, from the southwest direction, was recorded on the 12th of January 1974. Local government and politics. Local government in County Kilkenny is governed by the Local Government Acts, the most recent of which established a two-tier structure of local government. The top tier of the structure consists of Kilkenny County Council. The second tier of local government consists of Kilkenny Borough Council, which is a town council. The city of Kilkenny is allowed to use the title of Borough Council instead of Town Council. The Kilkenny Borough Council has no additional responsibilities. Outside the borough, the county council is solely responsible for local services. There are 26 councillors in the county council who are returned from 5 local electoral areas: Ballyragget, Callan, Kilkenny, Piltown and Thomastown. As the county is part of the South-East region, some county councillors are also representatives on the South-East Regional Authority. For elections to Dáil Éireann, Kilkenny is part of the Carlow-Kilkenny constituency, which returns 5 TDs. The present form of the constituency was created for the 1948 general election. Kilkenny has been represented through several parliamentary constituencies in the past. From 1918 to 1921, Kilkenny was part of the North Kilkenny United Kingdom parliamentary constituency. In 1921, the Carlow-Kilkenny-Dáil Éireann constituency was created and has stayed apart from between 1937 and 1948, when there was just a Kilkenny constituency. The TDs serving the area are currently John J. McGuinness, Phil Hogan, John Paul Fellin, Pat Deering and Anne Fellin.